So welcome back everyone for the final of the team event at the Challenge SNCF Réseau here in Paris. I'm Sean.
And I'm Gavin.
We're from the Fencing Podcast. If you want to hear our opinions on fencing, then that's the place to find us. And in the final, France against Switzerland, and probably the two biggest names in each team opening things up, with Yannick Borel for France and Max Heinzer for Switzerland getting us underway.
Well managed there by Yannick. Now, I mean, what I was about to say, I think one of the crucial things in this particular match is who's going to be manage the madness that is Max Heinzer. You know. And it started already.
Yep, didn't take long. Yep, kicked off with a big leap in there, and I think that sets the tone for what Max is looking to do against Borel.
But obviously, this is we're in France, so the local crowd is definitely going to swing behind the French team.
Yeah, at the moment, every bit of Max madness that works is greeted by a cheer from his teammates, and that's about it.
That is indeed about it. The strategy seems pretty clear to me, that Max is just harassing Yannick and not giving him any time to settle and think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the way to go, I think, for him. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for something more conventional against the rest of the French team.
Indeed.
But it's worked an absolute treat for him in this first leg, giving Switzerland an early lead.
Yannick not looking too happy there as he leaves the piece. So 35 seconds in, and that was 5-3 to Switzerland. Fair to say it's all going to plan for them.
Still early, but it's the start they would want.
Indeed.
So next up we've got Benny Stephan for Switzerland up against Alexandre Bardenet, and I think we're likely to see something just a little bit less frantic. A pretty sharp riposte from Stephan at close quarters.
Yep. Bardenet perhaps not setting up as well as he thought.
Nice attempt there, though.
Yeah, Barney just putting him on. Benny under a little bit of pressure, so he takes a step back and then catches him as he steps back in again. Nice bit of work.
Yeah, just a little bit more patient, waiting to be sure that the opening is there.
Alex obviously keenly aware of the threat of the counter from Benny Stephan there.
Nice hit, takes a bit of a tumble in the process, but quickly back up on his feet.
Just tempting Alex a little bit with the leg. He bites. Hit over the top. Nicely set up. We have said today that the Swiss are, as a sum total of their parts, an excellent, team epee machine.
Yeah, and they're quite tactically adaptable as well.
Yeah.
Happy to go in a low-scoring spreadsheet fest against the Swiss in the semi-final, but
yeah,
also equally happy to make things happen at a much higher rate. Oh, almost. I think Stefan was just teasing there, but so yeah, two approaches there. Bit of high-speed madness from Max Heinzer, giving Switzerland a 2-hit lead in the first leg, and then Stefan stretching that hit to that lead from 2 to 4 with a much more controlled performance in the second.
It's a good illustration of what you were saying about tactical awareness.
Yeah, I think so.
But just to see what happens here with Cannone from the French team. Very dynamic, able to sort of seemingly make hits come from all kinds of different areas.
Yeah, it's been very exciting. We've seen a lot of them today, obviously, and it's generally been pretty impressive. Certainly the least experienced member of the French team.
Yeah, well, he's only 22. And we're seeing here Enigler sticking to the sort of the game plan that we saw him against the Italians, where it's it's a lot of work on the blade, strong defence.
Yeah, Nigler's more in the Stefan mould in terms of how he paces his fight and what his strengths are. But he's kind of become an absolutely integral part of the Swiss team over the last couple of years. With hits like that, nicely set up, keeping Cannone guessing as he's trying to press and landing with his attack.
That's kind of how we've come to expect from Cannone there. As he comes in and he pressures, gets his opponent to bite, and then finishes in a different line. Okay, please off to check the video. For my money, yeah, definitely core first, then the touch comes up.
Yeah, that was the signal from the referee to the fencers, but he's going to go and have a look at the video just to be sure. And point awarded.
Point awarded. Yeah, but an interesting moment in the match now. I know they're only sort of halfway through the third leg, but already a 5-point deficit from the French. So I've got a feeling they're going to have to find a way to get their target to light up. That's it. And that was a good demonstration of what I was saying in the Italian match, where if you're going to go against someone like Nigler, you're going to have to pressure his hand enough to pull him out of line.
And the remise of the riposte given.
Stephen Leroy's not happy.
Few grumbles from the crowd. Not too much from the French box, I don't think.
Oh, there was a minute ago.
Oh, okay.
You just obviously didn't see that. Stephen Leroy was gesturing frantically for the video.
So the hit after the core, and
yep.
Cannone picks up a yellow card. Yeah, Switzerland. Nigler asking the question, why don't I get the hit? But the hit's made after the offence.
A little bit too eager there from Cannone.
Yep.
Not sharp enough from Cannone there. I think he was through, but there was just enough doubt.
Yeah, just wasn't quite enough conviction in the hit.
Yeah. Much better execution there from Cannone. Deep with enough aggression to really force Niger to commit.
Yeah, nicely timed.
Yeah.
Cannone going for the foot hit. Nigler getting out of the way.
Cannone pausing.
Kind of struggling to regain his balance, and Nigler calmly pressing the point on. And another good leg for the Swiss.
So it's we're 6 points adrift. We're in the middle section of the match now.
So Heinz are back on against Bardenet.
Let's see if we'll go for a similar tactic he used against Yannick. Going to harass him, I think.
I mean, France need to win a leg soon. They've dropped the first three, each one by a couple of hits.
And then obviously in Team Epee, that starts to dig you a bigger and bigger hole. So it looks like Alex is trying to pin Max down.
Nice cart riposte.
Very calm from Max.
Yep. Yeah, for all the jumping around, when it gets to the serious stuff, the actual hitting people,
Yeah.
there's a lot of calm about his fencing. Well, it's a bit less manic than it was against Yannick at the very start of the match, but I suppose the position of the match has changed. Switzerland have got a lead, but it's still pretty clinical from Heinzer. Nice hit.
Nice hit. Just judging that's a hard hit to get. Somebody gets somebody that's as mobile as Max. No, you're pressuring him. He thinks that you're going to go to the body, and you just manage to clip him down on the foot. You see Max there, just try to tempt Alex in. Again a nice one.
Yeah, Heinzer bounces the distance, ready to go. And Bardenet picking him off on the foot or ankle. We're back to a 6-hit gap.
Obviously, we know that Heinz is quite malleable, so it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, you can see it here. Look at him. Oh.
So Flesh doesn't arrive, Riposte doesn't arrive, and a fairly vicious looking second go that doesn't arrive either.
Yeah. Good distance pick from Max. He's showing enough of the toe to get Bardenet to bite into it. Nice one.
Yeah, and he managed to keep enough balance and control to get the hit on. Yeah, clumsy looking Flesh from Heinzer, and duly pinned on his way in.
Yeah, I felt it was a little bit obvious. You know, he starts with the crouch. He was opening himself up. He's inviting Alex in. You can see that he's trying to gather the weapon. Alex is obviously reading it the same way and just sees it coming and just disengages away from it. It's a nice hit.
So we've got a green light.
Yeah.
We've got a collision.
Well,
we've got Heinzer off the end of the piece.
So which one is it then? My money's on the hit.
Who knows? Referee Dave Baker just have a quick look in the video.
Yeah.
And the hit stands.
Yeah. For my money, it was a hit, collision, Max goes off the piste. Seeing Alex there, just sort of try to tempt Heiser with a little bit of foot first, but Heinz are not buying into it yet.
Yeah, to some degree I think Bardenet might feel job's done here. He's reduced the deficit by a hit, still with a lot of the match to go.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to take that as a result.
Yeah, a little hand movement just saying keep calm just at the end. I think if there's one person in the French team who can crack the defence of Nigler, it's going to be Yannick.
Yeah, it's a good bet.
You know, he's got the strength. He does have a very, very good sense for the time, and it's going to come down to which Yannick we've got at the moment. Whether it's the one that's going to do the simple attacking that we saw earlier on, or if it's going to be the one that we saw with the flesh out of distance.
Yeah, we have seen the sort of full range of Yannick Borel performances today. Some of it as glorious as we like to see, and other bits looking just a bit off form.
To be honest, he looked really great against Spain, so I think I'm hoping that's the Yannick we've got here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Nigla steps forward. Excellent pressure from Yannick. I mean, you'd have to be absolutely on your game not to want to clear his point, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't want that hanging around for any length of time at all.
And again, excellent timing. Nigla too busy fishing.
Yannick managed to snap his own blade in frustration, or maybe just it was ready to go.
Sometimes you just got to put the blade to sleep, Sean. It's the kindest thing to do.
But he's got a replacement. Looking at a 4-hit deficit.
Oh, I think he was a bit unlucky there. Perhaps just lacking the acceleration and just to get the point on.
Yeah, again, it's just the flesh has been a little bit off, more often than we're used to seeing for Yannick over the course of the weekend.
And we're back out at six hits. That's a lot of work from Yannick that we just lost.
Nice timing though from Nigler and finding a way through the Borel defence.
Keen sense of time of the distance there from Nigler. Just a little half step to make Yannick fall short.
So a lot of time left in the leg. There's already been a decent number of hits. And again, keen sense of distance from Nigler.
It's that kind of, I think it's that half step in and that bleed action. And what it's saying to Yannick is put the pressure on now, and then as Yannick puts the pressure on, it just opens it slightly. Yannick can't score and gives him the opportunity. Yeah, like.
Well, you can see from Nigler's reaction, asking for a video review.
I think they're going to say hit while falling. I think that's what they're going for, but I think they're going to be lucky if this goes their way. Nigler's body language, they were saying, yeah, I made the mistake.
Yeah, I've messed up here rather than some terrible injustice has been served on me here. It's a very quick look at the video.
Yeah, hit stands. I think Nigler made the right choice. I think just Yannick's too big, essentially, there. So Nigler had to be a lot faster or a lot longer, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah, I mean the arm was a long way back actually when he committed himself to the idea, and in the end largely threw himself onto Borel's point, but he's picked up another there again with that sort of sense of being able to get into distance enough to tempt Borel, and then just stepping out again. Whereas this time Yannick starts off and Nigler closing the distance quickly.
I think in the last few hits, for me, it's too much. There's too much in the middle for Yannick. Yeah, yes, he has to deal with all this blade action from Nigler, but he's not. It's again, he's not. There's no pressure after he gets into the middle, which is giving Nigler enough time to just pick the moment that he wants.
Yeah, you could well be right, but
it's middle, and there's nothing. It's no middle then press. There's no sort of sudden change.
Yeah, gets sort of really just putting himself into trouble rather than turning it into something that he can develop.
Whereas at the start of that particular leg, yes, it would go into the middle like that, but what he was really doing was immediately pressuring Nigler again and then cracking his defence and continuing. So it's Cannone versus Stefan. So
yeah, I mean that's a very, very strong leg from Nigler, winning at 9-4, giving the Swiss a big lead now.
Yeah. I think if you're in the French camp, you must be starting to get worried that this is becoming unobtainable. Let's see if youthful high spirits meets the rock solid experience of Benny Stefan.
I think the French though have a slight advantage. I mean, we said that with a much smaller lead for the Spaniards against Italy in the third-fourth place playoff. It turned out not actually almost not to be true. But France is more full of fencers that can make things happen.
Yeah. But similarly, they are against a team which is very creative, very malleable, has a number of game plans at their disposal.
Yeah, no mistake, but no rush either from Stefan, and making sure he got the riposte on.
And that's the creativity that we're really looking for from the French team. It's like a half moment. And he just takes it.
And a double, absolutely fine for Stefan.
That was a good option there from Cannone. Just tempt Benny enough, just tempt him to see if he's willing to go, and sure enough he did.
Yeah, and just times it a little bit better. Catches Cannone a little flat-footed and lands the flesh this time. I wasn't so sure actually with the last one that he was so far off, and that maybe he's only fractionally misjudged it. More a mistake on his part rather than something that Cannone had created. But
you think?
that was my feeling at the time, but I didn't want to disagree with you.
Well, for me, Cannone set it up anyway. But we'll leave it. Leave it.
Oh. Okay, so we've got impact all over the place. A French hit and both fencers back on their feet. Okay, so the referee's called halt. Stefan's got his mask off, certainly he's got the point. But the referee is going to go and look at the video just to determine whether the hit stands or whether the collision's enough to stop the action. It does indeed. So France claw one back, but I think effectively that's a pretty good controlling leg from Benny Stefan there. Giving his teammates a 9-hit lead going into the last 3 legs of the match. So Nigler put in a potentially match-defining leg against Yannick Borel in his last outing. Let's see if we can repeat the dose against Alex Bardenet. Yep, solid fencing from the Swiss. Might be all we need now.
Yeah.
No showboating, nothing too flashy.
Yep.
Just
manage it out.
Yeah, control the match through to the finish. This time the hit arriving clearly long after the collision and not going to be awarded.
By some distance.
Bardenet finding a way through to bring the deficit back to 9 again.
Again, he's just reading the defensive plays from Nigler. The season coming at the cart comes round it.
So he's done it once. Let's see if he can do it again.
He's looking for it.
And again, yeah.
Maybe not. Nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Neil are getting a little carried away, I think. All got a bit scruffy and out of shape, and picked off in the foot. Yeah, it's another well-managed leg from the Swiss.
We're at that point again where we need something magical. What do you think? What kind of max are we going to get today? Do you think? Well, at this point, I mean, I think we'll get managerial max.
I think we'll get managerial max. I think it's time for spreadsheet max. We've had a bit of mad max at the start.
Yeah.
Bit of a mixture in the middle, and now with an 11-hit lead. I mean, he's probably got the freedom to go for a bit of mayhem, but beneath the sort of mayhem and excitement that he can generate with his fencing at times, there's a pretty cool, calculating brain behind it all, and I'll be surprised if he's.
Well, look at where he's moving at the moment. Just calm. You know,
yeah, willing to match Cannone's movement and intensity, and making life difficult for Cannone. Picks up one there.
Yeah, Max immediately shifting into a different gear there. Did you see that?
Yep. Let's give that one a little try at the end of the piece. Maybe not so good. We'll move it more towards the middle. I'll be prepared to push into it a little harder, because every double for Switzerland at this point is a win. And again, it's not a glorious flesh attack, but a double is the results.
It's, as you see,
perfectly acceptable.
It's a percentage hit.
Yep. Yeah, because France need single lights now.
Yeah.
And even a less than perfectly timed max Heinzer flesh is difficult to stop you from hitting at all.
Good pressure from Cannone there.
Yeah, he's got the right idea. I mean, if it's going to happen, he's going about it the right way.
Yeah. Peg the hand back, peg the knee back, just keep him under control.
Okay, so the sprinter on guard position from Max, but just kidding. something much simpler and less flamboyant.
Mm-hmm.
A good strong low line parry and sticking his riposte on.
Yeah.
And a flesh for the double hit to finish the leg off.
Yeah.
Stretch the lead out just a little bit further.
Goads Max, Max goes Cannone. Cannone comes in, and then obviously that hand just picks him up. Let's see what happens. It's going to be Yannick to finish off. So we need a Herculean performance from Yannick.
Well, if you're looking for a man for a Herculean performance, he's probably the one that you would turn to.
It really is. Nicely timed sort of disengaging flesh from Yannick.
Yes, Stefan's I think a good choice to close this match out. He's almost a physical match for Yannick.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the Swiss team for a long time, a lot of experience, very calm. He'll not be easily rattled by anything that Borel throws at him.
Mm-hmm. Very Stefan unlucky not to get that.
But it is a crowd pleasing splits.
Yep.
Even though he doesn't score the hit.
Remember being that flexible, Sean?
No, never.
I think Ben's getting a little bit excited there, and then a slight pause, and Yannick just hits him.
Yeah, Benny Stefan willing to outmuscle Yannick in the middle of the piece. And with the gap still at 10 hits and a minute 16 left, you got to feel that there's going to be no magic here.
No. I mean the room for manoeuvre isn't very large. It's the Swiss only have to score 3 hits, to get to the 45. So, your scope for making mistakes in your attack very low. Mind you, if there's one man who can score a lot of hits very quickly and get on a roll, it's I was going to say it's Yannick, but not today. Oh, another crowd-pleasing splits from Benny Stefan. But this time he
and
scores
gets a hit
on the
this
post.
time.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Yeah. It's just always really excitable when they win. Have you noticed? They're always like this. They never come out looking kind of business-like. Yes, we've won. That's great.
Yeah, it's a convincing win, and an excellent team performance from the Swiss.
Yeah.
Thoroughly deserved. France arguably a little disappointing in the final. I had hoped for a match with a bit more tension towards the end, but
I was definitely hoping for some fireworks.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite happen. And I think again it was like the early losses took their toll. The French kind of lost their confidence.
Yeah, losing the first 3 legs and a 6-8 gap opening up, I think was pretty decisive in the end. And as you say, Switzerland managed the match from that point forward in a way that was both convincing, but also at the same time pretty entertaining.
Yeah, indeed.
So that brings us to the end of our trip to Paris.
Yep, first time coming here for the epee. Hope I come back.
Yeah, it's been a glorious weekend fencing. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks again to the French Federation for inviting us over to do the commentary.
Yeah, it was lovely of them to ask us.
And I hope you all at home have enjoyed watching it as much as we have.
Yeah. So we're Sean and Gav from the Fencing Podcast. Don't forget to check us out. You can find us on thefencingpodcast.com. And also where get all good podcasts are available.
Yeah, that's where to find it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it is probably time for us to call it a day.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Cheers now. Bye.
Bye.